Quick announcement at the end of the video. Make sure to watch till the end. Alright guys, welcome back to another MCreator tutorial. We're going to be covering how to install NeoForge as well as get your mods from MCreator over to the Minecraft installation folder for NeoForge. So we're going to be doing a whole bunch of stuff today regarding getting Java installed, to getting NeoForge installed, and then we're also going to be exporting our mod as well. So with that being said, there's an outline in the description as well as links that you can find for what you need to get the parts to follow the tutorial. If you're not familiar with that, just scroll down and there's a little description area where all this information will be provided as well as the links. So first things first, let's start downloading the things that we're going to need. We're going to need Java. So let's go to our browser and we'll paste in the Java link for java.com, and we're going to go ahead and click download and then download Java, and this will send it to our downloads folder. We can open our folder depending on what browser you have. So this is the one that I have Chrome, so it's just going to put in the downloads folder here. We're going to put that on our desktop, and then we're going to install that in just a second. And we're also going to need NeoForge for the version of MCreator that we have. So the current version, 2024.3, it's currently on version 1.21.1, and then the build of NeoForge is right behind here. So if we go to our workspace and then workspace settings, you can find this Minecraft version, and then it's generator in brackets. So this is what you're going to be looking for. If the build is not exactly the same, then you can go with a newer build, but not a version that's lower in the last 3 digits, like the last part that's in the brackets. So as long as it's the same Minecraft build, you can always go a little bit higher for the build, just not a different Minecraft version with a different build. That won't work, but you can use the same one. Say if the version was 21.1.66, that would still work even if MCreator's using 65. So just to keep that in mind. So let's go to NeoForge and we'll go ahead and download that next thing. So we'll open up our browser again, and then we'll just paste in that second link that I have there in the thing. And we want the one that says NeoForge, and we're going to click on that. And then what we want to do is we want to look over on this side here. It says recent versions. It's going to have Minecraft versions and then the Neo version, which is that little part that was in the brackets. So what we want is we want to go to 1.21.1, and then it should be the latest version, so 85. I think that was the one that we had. Let's just double check. So this is 65. So this is basically what I'm going to be demonstrating. So we're going to go with the 85, the latest version, and we're going to download that as well. So even though that 65 is for what the MCreator mod is using, we can go with a newer version as long as it's not like 61 or below 65 that MCreator uses. We can use that particular version. So in this case, 85 is higher than 65, so we can definitely use this version. So let's go ahead and just close out of the browser now, and we should have the other one right here. All right, so now that we have our NeoForge .jar in there and our java.exe, we're going to need to install Java. I've wiped Java from my computer, so if you have multiple versions of Java, it might cause conflict with actually opening or running Java applications. So it's always good to make sure that you only have one Java Runtime Environment or JRE installed. If you have Java Development Kit, that probably won't work because that's JDK, and that's a little bit different. That's more designed for developing software rather than actually running applications that use Java, which is JRE, not JDK. So you want the JRE one, Java Runtime Environment, which the link that I provided will give you the exact download that you need. It also will say JRE right on the execution file or the exe file that you download as well. So we're going to make sure that we run this as administrator. And we're going to go ahead and we can install directly, or we can go ahead and change the destination. If you click this box, then go install, then you can do that. You can also remove previous versions on your computer as well if you want to do that as well. We're just going to go with the installation without the checkbox, and this will take a couple seconds to minutes depending on the speed of your computer. And we're done now, so we're good to go for that part. We can just delete that installer file there. And the next thing that we need to do is we need to go ahead and install NeoForge. Now, if you don't have this set up for the icon here, it might be a different icon. An application might have already changed it to open it with a different application. Then this will probably not work to run the installer for NeoForge. Let me just change it quickly, and then I'll walk you through the steps to make sure that it's selecting the proper Java file to open it with. All right, so the icon is currently set to just Notepad to open up. It's not going to run, obviously, the jar because you can't run applications from Notepad, so that won't work. So what we can do is we can go and open with, and then go and choose another application. And then what we're going to do is we're going to scroll down where it says use this application to open .jar files. So we're going to check that box before we do anything else. And if you don't see this option where it says more apps, then you want to scroll down. There's a little scroll bar here, and you want to scroll down until you see it. And then you want to scroll down even more and look for another app on this PC. So you want to select this option, and then assuming that you already just installed Java, then you want to go to that folder where you installed Java to. By default, it should be under the program files for Java. We're going to select that one and then go into our JRE folder and then our bin folder. And then what we're looking for to open this file with is we want a java.w. So if I scroll in a little bit, you might be able to see that there is one that is right, where is it? Should be right here, right, javaw.exe. So we want to open it with that. And the icon should update now that you've selected that default application. So again, if you haven't checked the box down here, it says always use this app to open jar files. If this isn't checked, then it won't update the file to open in that particular one in the future. So that's why we've checked that box. So now you can see that it popped open the installer for the jar file. It's not as easy as just running in like a .exe or anything like that. I wish that they would migrate to an exe. It would be easier for a lot of people, but all right, so the next thing that we needed to do is we need to make sure that our path for the installation is pointing to our game files. So in this case, it's pointing to our app data roaming.minecraft. If you don't know how to get there, you want to go to search and then type in %app data. So like that, and then percent. If I can find the percent again, there we go. And app data folder should show up in the list there. Then your .minecraft, and then this is all the files here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually delete some of these things just to make sure that it's going to not be here when we install it. So I'm going to leave everything else. I'm pretty sure I just deleted the versions for what I have installed. So when we go ahead and click the button for install client, we're not going to have any versions, but I'll show you that where it's going to be generating in the versions folder. So we're going to go ahead and click proceed. Now you don't necessarily need to delete your versions or any of those files that I did. I'm just demonstrating that it'll be installed to this folder because of this path. So we're going to go and click proceed, and you can see that it popped open the versions. It's already installing the files that we need to run NeoForge. So it'll take a couple seconds depending on your speed of your computer, and it's already done, so we're good. So it's basically generated the versions, the Minecraft version that we need, and then the NeoForge NeoForge profile for the thing there. So now we got that part done. So to export our mod, what we want to do is we want to go to build and run. We want to regenerate code and build. So we're going to go ahead and just basically run this to make sure that all our files in our mod are going to compile properly. If you get an error in console, then you want to sort that out before you export your mod, because if you export your mod now, it's not going to work that well in game. So you want to make sure you do that. And then just for good measure, just go ahead and click build workspace just to make sure that it is compiling properly. Then you can go to your workspace file up here and go export the mod for distribution. And then you want to click export the mod without donating. And then you want to basically download that to your desktop. So we're going to just save it here. And we're good for that part. So this is our mod. We're good to go for that. And we're going to boot up Minecraft now. And this is just the vanilla launcher. And we'll go ahead and you might be on the home page. We'll start from the home. So if you're on the home page, what you want to do is, or any other page, then you want to go to Minecraft Java Edition and then go to your installation folder or installations. And you might have these two already installed. We have the latest version currently is 1.21.4, and we should have the NeoForge version installed now. We're going to click New Installation, and we're going to give it a name. So I'm going to make this a little bit bigger so it's easier to see. We're going to call it NeoForge, just abbreviate there, 1.21.1, and then I'm going to go profile 1, so we have something like that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to search NeoForge, and the release NeoForge 21.1.85 should come up, the one that we just installed. And then I'm going to select a folder where it should store the game files, like for the saves, the resource packs, the mods folder, all that stuff. We want it in its own folder. So we're going to go and just put it under our documents. And if you have a different drive that you want to save it to, you can do that as well. So we're going to go Minecraft just to start with, and then I'm going to go ahead and select NeoForge so I know what kind of API I'm using, and then I want to go with 1.21.1. That's the version of the game that I'm using. And then I'm going to go profile 1 for what profile for the mods that I'm using. So we're going to go and click upload, and then it should post the path here. And then you can leave all the other stuff here the same. And we'll just click install, and it should start up the game in a second. All right, so once you've gotten the game up, then you're good to go. So we're going to click continue. And what we want to do is we want to go to our mods folder, and we're going to go open mods folder. And then what we want to do is we want to put our mods in this particular folder. Now, this won't update, this list here won't update until you restart the game. So what we're going to do is we're going to click done and then quit, and then we're going to boot up the game again. And at this point, if you run into issues with loading the game, I had an issue there because I probably closed out or did something. So that's usual for the launcher. I've had it a couple times when recording this video. So let's go to here. We're going to select our profile. Just click play. And you want to check this box now that we have mods installed, and just click play. It's just basically saying that, you know, Mojang's can't help you if you're modding your game or anything like that. It's completely fine and normal. So now, if you haven't gotten to this title screen, then most likely there's a problem with the mods that you installed. If there is a problem with the mods, you want to go back to your mods folder, and you want to remove all of them, and then basically restart MCreator or Minecraft every time that you add one specific mod back. So until you reach that same error, you want to keep adding the mods one at a time to the thing, restart the game, come to the title screen until you basically can't get to this particular title screen. The last mod that you'll basically add is probably the one that's going to be causing the problems with the conflict or compiling for actually loading the game. If that doesn't work, then you can try creating a new profile or installing a different version of the mod. Maybe it's a different build of the mod. It could be different, but if you do get to this page, then you can go to the mods folder and it should list all your mods in this particular folder now that you've restarted the launcher. So in this case, we have CCTV Craft. We're just going to go ahead and create a new game, click creative, and I just want to make sure that everything's working in game. So we're going to go and check the creative tab. So indeed, everything is loaded here, so it's perfect. So that's basically how you install NeoForge, get the game running for NeoForge and everything like that. And hopefully you've learned something today. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe, comment down below, rate the video, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Peace out. I have this friend that has their own server hosting company, and they have the lowest prices in the server hosting community, and they've given me a promo code to give to you guys. So if you want to get a good deal for the first month, then you can use the promo code Northwest for 45% off your first month. Offer expires July 19th, 2034. The link to their site is in the description.